in terms of a lead capture through a Facebook page, just find one to look at. So with a Facebook page, there's a range of, there's a couple of places that people go to essentially to engage with your business. And one of them is the contact button, yes. The cover photo is a massive one because people click on it when they're on the mobile device. And then of course it's inside the posts themselves, physically inside the different posts that you make and that you put on your page. So what you need to be doing, like in any good phishing, is you need to be putting in a hook that can essentially bring that fish off social media and into your own sort of private net, if you like, your own database. So, and you need to make sure that whatever tool that is effective and actually works. So in the case of this client of ours, for example, there's multiple hooks on the Facebook page. This also goes for the Instagram, and it goes for the website, and it goes for anywhere else. So with our Ebrochure and our lead capture, we basically have it set up so that you can use it anywhere. So across all your social medias, you can have it on your youths and signages with a QR code. It allows people to request an Ebrochure for you, and I'm going to show you what the Elysium Ebrochure looks like, but here's an example. So someone might click the cover photo, and there's the hook link. Click here to get our Ebrochure and contact us, or we click here to get our Ebrochure and find out about, you know, the 7 best ways to design a custom-built home, or find out about our guarantee, 25-year structured guarantee, whatever, or our standard inclusions, whatever your thing is, and you can customize that as you go. When they click that, so all of a sudden they've gone from a fish swimming around looking at different pages and social media. In your case, if we were promoting the page as well, the posts appear out in their newsfeed. So here's one here where they've got get the latest from them after one of their events that they went to. They've posted their hook link in the bottom here. Click here to get our Ebrochure and contact us. Similar thing. So I could be reading that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I want to engage with this person. So they can put the details in. So they can select what type of person they were, where they came from, obviously Facebook, and bang, it's done. Now that works on any type of device, any type of mobile phone. Our lead capture system is one of the advantages of it. It's extremely robust. So in other words, it doesn't matter what the person's using, where they've come from, grab your Ebrochure. So we can jump over and have a little look at that Ebrochure. So for a start, you'll see that I've actually come into that system, and here I am. It's happened now. It's marked where I've come from, and what'll be in my inbox is the Ebrochure from that business. So I want to give you an example so you can sort of see in reality what it is that the person gets when they come off social media or your website or wherever. So this here is an example of an Ebrochure, which is part of what we would build for you guys. And essentially it is exactly that. It's an electronic, fully interactive brochure that covers the key elements that we know after years and years of experience that people want. They want to know a basic introduction about you. They want to connect with some elements of your product, your design, and they want to see some testimonials. And then they want to engage with you after that, but generally slowly. So, for example, once this fish has jumped in your basket, they are then caught in your net, so to speak, and you're able to reach them consistently, and in the case of our system, automatically, with automated monthly newsletters that are generated from the content that you will put out through your social media. So a key thing that happens with all online marketing is ineffective, what they call lead capture. At the end of the day, it means it's the same as, it's essentially like building a house and not putting a front door. So if you don't have that across all where people can jump in and grab some information quickly about you that's delivered directly to them digitally, straight away through the email, you're kind of cutting off. Like, the attrition rate is really bad. It's like 88% of people just leave any given website or page or whatever else. Even if they're reading the post, they're engaging, they're still wanting a quick way to access some information about your business very quickly, and they can move on. And this is kind of the key to how you get social media to actually convert. So I just want to check with you guys if that concept initially kind of makes sense, the phishing concept, that these are ponds and that you need a system solution equivalent to a rod, a reel, hook and a sinker to bring people in, to put them in your basket. Okay, Christine, that makes sense. Without it, so if you're doing marketing, and this goes for websites and everything, it goes for Google, so there's no point doing Google AdWords unless you know you've got 100% effective inbound lead capture. And obviously there's a range of different ways to do that, but the thing that we've perfected over several years is exactly the best way, the best tool that has the best results and is the most robust, because you don't want to lose a fish halfway in. So you don't want it to fail on their phone or not quite get them the email or whatever. I mean, obviously nothing can be 100%, but our system is near enough. And that's taken a lot of time to do. And the idea is that you want to have that singular thing. So this Elysium designed in this beautiful e-brochure of theirs is essentially you're able to request that from anywhere. So they'll have a button on their website. It's in it's in their Instagram posts, their Facebook posts. It's on their profiles. As I say, you're given a QR code that you can put on your ute signage and things, so people can just snap that and fill out their details and grab your e-brochure. Now, the hugely amazing thing about that is that the impression that a client gets of a builder when they can jump in and grab something of that quality immediately, all of a sudden, you start to move into the next stage of what I kind of want to talk to you guys about, the whole reason why you want to do social media in the first place and how you can actually increase profit margins, streamline the right type of clients, is to a concept that we call social currency or social capital. And what it is the perception in the mind of people about the quality and the deliverability based upon your marketing. So if I'm researching about a builder and I get, a Google listing somehow and I've got an old sort of website there, I can't find anything out about them, I do or don't call, the person says, yep, I'll send you out some information about what we do. 2 or 3 days later, he's flat out and busy. He finally gets home, the kids are in bed, and he gets a chance and he pulls out the bit of paper and he says, right, I've got to email these people. They called me the other day and I haven't even emailed them. All of that can be taken care of automatically in 30 seconds and deliver them something incredible like this. So Elysium doesn't need to do that anymore. This client doesn't need to be writing those things down, remembering to do that and sending it. It happens automatically. And then that person is then automatically stored, and anything and everything that's happened with them is then tracked and traced for you to look at, and you're notified straight to your phone. So this core setup pack that we do, which we call our e-brochure and social media setup, which has the automated e-brochure and the automated newsletters, it actually, apart from streamlining things for you, it actually leaves this impression in the consumer's mind, we've noticed, where they see you as different. All of a sudden you're different. You're not like that builder that was doing that. You are obviously already a cut above the rest. And what happens then is you slowly build this concept of social currency. So the way to move away from competing on price in the building industry and to be able to put whatever margins you want and to be able to charge for it, charge just a quote, charge for consultation meetings, and this is what our clients are doing. The only way you can really do that in the building and trades game is through building social currency and then having a client bank to draw upon, which I'll tie this into what I've just shown you in a moment. So I was kind of showing you the basics of it. The social media is out there. Yeah, have a very quick. Yeah, Peter says have a very quick response to inquiry. It is a very quick response, but it's not only that. It's actually have an incredibly professional sort of response that blows them off the map, basically, because they're not used to getting that kind of a thing from the building industry. So from there, this starts to build what we call social currency. And social currency is the idea of the social perception around your business and the number one method for promoting that. You guys call it, look, you call it word of mouth, right? You call it word of mouth and you call it goodwill. However, social media has changed the rules of the game. It's no longer about bumping into a fella down the pub who you did a job for 2 years ago, says, mate, he's the greatest in the world. That still happens. And in fact, you're still getting work from that now, and I know you are. The thing is, though, social media has changed this completely. You now can create your social currency by showing the world, hey, you don't know any of my clients yet, but have a look at this. This is what we're doing on a day in, day out basis. This is the level of professionalism we're at, and this is the niche we're at. So you use social media to present out to the world what you're doing, and you use the Ebrochure and the hook system to hook people in off social media and bring them into your database as your client bank. So client banking is a business term for a database, quite simply. So social currency is a business term for how you build up social perception around your business and drive that home. And that includes your niche, your specialization, what you're doing, testimonials, things you're doing in the community, charities that you're supporting, all the rest of it. You know, even social currency is built on so many things now on social media. So, for example, we'll encourage a lot of our builders at least once or twice a month, throw something in from a personal level. There's a photo, you're down, you took the day off work and you took the kids and you went and took them fishing, or you went and did this thing, or you coach a local team. These things go out through social media and create this perception around you and your building business, and they allow people to forget about the price tag. So a great example of this, one of the greatest in the world, is Steve Jobs and Mac. For example, yourself, Christine, or Peter, do you own an iPhone, or anyone in the home owns an iPhone? Okay, but obviously, Peter, you know people who do own one. Your Android. Wife has one. Okay. This will be a perfect example. So in the case of an iPhone, and Peter may be part of the reason that you don't have one, I'm not going to be totally assumptive here, but essentially an iPhone is a product that is about 200-300% dearer than it needs to be, actually. So for example, the price you pay for an iPhone 7 compared to an equivalent phone in Android that'll do all the same things is ridiculous. It's almost laughable. You're aware of that, obviously, Christine. Like, you know that by having an iPhone, you've deliberately paid way more than what you really need to pay for an object that will provide the same functions. And Peter, you probably understand that. I mean, some of the new Android phones are getting more expensive, but I can essentially walk down to Aldi and I can pull a phone out of there for $250, and I can sit side by side anyone with an iPhone and pretty well do anything that they can do. You want to pull up anything and say, oh, but look, mine does this, I'll just turn around and show you that mine does it as well. And you paid $1,000 more for yours. Now, the reason that you did that, unbeknownst to you or not, even if it's because, oh, well, I've got an iPad and all the rest of it, that's all part of this same concept. And it's the concept that people will purchase based on social perception, emotional connection, and story,
which altogether are parts of what we call social currency. Mac is so invested in social currency that they made 3 feature-length films. We're up to 3 now. I don't know if you're aware of it. There's been 3 films about Steve Jobs since his death. Yes, he's a great man and they wanted to honour his memory, but do not think for a second that these weren't part of a long-term, elaborate marketing strategy that keeps a deeper connection and a wider social connection to the iPhone products so that they can continue to justify prices of that level. And that's exactly what happens within the building industry, is once you start to get a name of a certain level, once you start to carve out a niche or a micro niche where you are literally dominating in that space, you get to do what our clients do. And that is 38s, 41% profits often on renos. You get to basically dictate to whom you will build and whom you won't build from. And the way that comes in is your social currency, call it your fish frenzy. Fish are jumping around all over the place about you. You're out in front of their faces. They're interested in what you do, and you've carved out your area and your niche for that region. You then bring them in via your Ebrochure and your lead capture system in your client bank, and from there, you nurture and maintain connection with them, which is what the automated newsletters are and all the rest of it. As that database grows and you maintain that connection and you go from one better job to a better job to a better job, over time, you build up what's called social capital. So currency is fluid. It can flow and change and does different things, but capital is hard assets. It's rock solid. So what happens there is, maybe in the early years of Macintosh and Steve Jobs, he was floating around on social currency, proving to the world this was happening and have a look at all the rest of it. But now it's a bedrock thing. They can stick to their 400% higher margins than the other phone companies. And luckily for you, it's a tried and proven thing that the same thing happens in the building industry. People will pay more. They will, of course they'll go and get their quotes. But if you're floating all around on social media, they've had a maintained connection with you. They've had emails from you each month over the last several months showing not only the great work you've done, but a bit of an insight into who you are and the kind of way you operate in the world. And they've got this connection. What will happen, Peter, like in your case, is the husband will say, we're not doing it. Why are we paying another $85,000 for this builder when I've got 2 quotes here that are cheaper? And the wife will turn around to that husband and say, if you don't build with this builder, I'm not building a house with you. I want him. I want their company. Did you see his dog the other day? Did you see what he did when he took them down to the vet? And you didn't see the photo this morning from that house that was out over there. This is how you do it. You do it by building up an actual connection between yourself and your business and the outer world to elevate and niche yourself. Show your work and slowly build your client bank by bringing them in off those social media environments through, as I showed you, with the idea of capturing them through the Ebrochure system, and then you maintain that connection. Then you move. That's how you basically move into a situation where the ultimate situation for a building. Everyone says, look, the last thing I want is more inquiry. I'm busy as it is. I'm flat out. I build enough houses a year. I don't need any more work. I don't want any more work, and I don't need any more work. That's fine. You might not want any more inquiry, more work and that, but if I said to you, would you mind having an extra $800,000 worth of net profit come Chrissy? So I'll ask you that question. Personalization, Peter, exactly, as well. Yeah, you're getting it. So the way that's the future. This is the future of business, because people and society are over cookie cutter, they're over dog eat dog, they're over undercutter. They want to know, who am I getting? What do they really do? And don't tell me what you do. Let me go and have a look at you doing it. And they want it in real time. Okay, they don't want to go to your website you got built 4 years ago by some Indian guy who still hasn't uploaded the last 7 photos that you gave him. They want to go on your Facebook page and go, wow, that was yesterday. There's sunrise over a slab. This guy's out there, or this lady and team, or a lot of foremans, and I've got a lot of clients who the lead builders are females now.
They're out there busting their gut and making a beautiful home happen for that family, and that builds connection. And then they read that post and see that photo and they say to themselves, what's this thing here, this e-brochure they've got? All right, I'll jump in, and bang. They click on it, next thing you know, your phone beeps, you got a new fish just jumped into your system, and that fish is in there now and going to receive those informations that goes out from you. So that's kind of the nutshell of the concept of what we do in our setup stage, which is basically our social media setup and optimization, our e-brochure design, our automated newsletter. And I'll expand upon that a tiny bit more in a minute, but basically that's the core of it. I just want to check in with you guys and see if that kind of makes sense. I mean, there's things I can talk about that aren't going to be relevant to you. I mean, for example, on screen right now, you know, these are things that get me excited, but for you, it doesn't make a, you know, there's a range of different ways you can do this, right? Lots of different types of systems and all the rest of it. What happens with us is our system has open rates that are between 80 and 95, 96%, and click rates that average up to between sort of 40 and 60 is our actual average. These guys have just broached our average. Break that down. What does it mean? It's the same as you. If I go into Bunnings and say, get me a drill, they'll say, sure. What drill? Which drill do you want? There's 40 of them. And I say, well, you know, just get me a drill and make sure that it's, just get me the best drill then. Now, it's the same in my game as it is in your game. You know, there's tools and there's tools. We've just basically worked out the ultimate tools, the best way to set them up and that work for you. So those numbers, I know they're making sense to you, Peter, and that you're getting it. At the end of the day, it means people are going to get your thing and see it, where there's another 50 other types of solutions out there that do it a half-assed jobs and basically don't work, if I want to break it down into simple terms. You know, open rates and click rates are one thing. At the end of the day, what it means to you is really simple. If a fish is going to jump in and bite me bait, I want to make sure they're going to be delivered what they've got as best as we can. And, you know, we're not infallible. It's impossible to be with email. But we are pretty well, we are. We're the bee's knees when it comes to that. So that's kind of the gamut of what the kind of core, what we call the core or setup or e-brochure package really is. So I guess I'll just do a visual overview of that so that we've really, you guys have got that clear. And then I can let you guys know what's involved in getting that done. And then I can give a little bit of an introduction into the other two aspects of what we do. So essentially, once we're done with you, this needs a bit of an update. It was Tumblr, but it's now Instagram. Essentially what it means to you is that once we're done with you in this setup, all of the social medias will be set up and optimized in the right way. They'll all have lead capture where people can get your e-brochure, including your website. And they'll all get an automated newsletter after that is generated from you simply having to spend 1 to 5 minutes per week just doing an Instagram post. In other words, snap a picture on your phone, put a few words to it, give them a hook link and press send. It can be done on or off site at any time, and you guys don't have to do it necessarily. We'll have a lot of clients who get a young chippy or an apprentice or someone else, someone who's already, you know, maybe unbeknownst to you or beknownst to you, they're already spending, just so you guys know, they're spending about an hour and 45 minutes of each of your working day already on Instagram or Facebook anyway, around the corner, behind the brick stack, before they go and pick up that bit of pine, when they're cutting a Harry 100, they're doing it. So you can turn that into profit for you. And we've had a lot of our clients say, right, give that job to someone else to do the post. But at the end of the day, the system that you get from us optimizes all of that and makes it all run from those posts. The lead capture I've explained, but I'll just go over it again. It simply means you've got a hook, line and sinker across all your major social media that we set up for you. We use the primary ones, Facebook, Instagram and Tumblr. They're massive, and your website. They're the 4 primary places. We give you the hook links and e-brochures and everything. They all drive down, they all send out the e-brochure and deposit everyone inside your EMS, your email system, and that's where they live. your real world lead capture. So yes, guys and out on the site, phone's ringing, unknown number, in the middle of work, but you don't know whether you should or shouldn't answer it because there's a part of you thinking, well, if I don't answer this, and this is a client inquiry and it's a $1.7 million job, I'm going to kick myself, aren't I? You don't need to worry about that anymore with having an Ebrochure system. We'll give you a little hook link. You can use it on your phone as part of an auto text reply. Phone's ringing, you press a button and it just sends back an automated text to the person saying, look, sorry, I can't take your call right now. If you're inquiring about our building services, please click the link here and grab our e-brochure. It'll explain everything you need to know about our building business and we will engage with you shortly. If, however, your inquiry, this is of an urgent nature, please reply by text with what's going on. I've had guys nearly cry. I've had people nearly cry about how many hours per year that saved them. I'm a bricklayer's son, and I've done a lot of brickies labouring on job sites. And you know, you may laugh, but I'll be honest and tell you guys that that a lot of times builders just seem to be on the phone, and a lot of time they're on the phone to random people that people that are ringing. Oh, I saw you here, and we're thinking about one day maybe building, and you're there for an hour talking to someone who's not even going to turn into a job, and even if they do, it's not the job that you want to do. And we'll get into a moment how powerful the client bank is because, and I'll tell a story to describe this, but you guys must know that yourself. So this system is about you streamlining time, bringing all your inquiry into one place, buffering that inquiry so that you don't have to deal with it immediately, and then feeding them, all those potential people, with information about you as you progress in real time. Just do a quick check. There's a lot to take in there. Is everybody, are you guys following me? Just give us a little, okay, easy. Oh, bloody hell, this is great. And at the end of it, there will be a box of chocolates sent to everyone in a red rose because it is Valentine's. Clint and I will have to, well, we've got a curfew to get this webinar done too. So I'll go for the punchlines here. Now, we've also got iPad apps that work without internet service, so you can lead capture out on job sites. We've got clients with display homes who are putting their iPads in the walls where people are requesting the e-brochures from the walls. There's a whole range of people using QR codes on the sides of utes, all the rest of it. At the end of the day, the whole point of our system is all roads lead home. They all lead home to the initial e-brochure. So when you get our system, you don't give them your website anymore. Someone rings you and says, I want to know about your building business. You say, that's fine. Please give me your name, phone number, and email. We'll shoot you out our e-brochure. Because when you go out fishing, you don't just pick the fish up and then go, all right, I'll just chuck that. You know, you keep it in a basket, and that's the client bank. So and that's what I'm about to do an explanation now to really bring that home for you. So that's really the key to the initial setup system, though. E-brochure, automated lead capture, all your social media is optimized. You give an amazing 2-hour training session in how to use the basics of it, but it's a system solution, okay? It's not us. We're not going out and marketing you yet. We're just getting it all right and working, and it's a great 24/7 salesperson that sits there 24/7 saying, hi, welcome to Elysium or whatever, welcome to my building company. May I take your name, your phone number, and your email address and shoot you out an e-brochure. It's brilliant. It sits there just doing that 24/7 for you across all your social, across your website, on the side of your ute and all the rest of it. Worth its weight in gold just for that. That's what we call that lead capture. I might just see if you guys can watch a little something about that to sort of give you a builder's perspective on exactly how valuable even that simple thing is, really. I'll just find the window here. So we'll look here, and just tell me if you can hear this, guys.
G'day, my name's Jared Miller. I've just got into Rick's trading EMS system pretty recently. Known Rich for a long time though. He guaranteed me it was a wonderful thing, and I thought I'd have a crack at it. Rich is, I think, gets pretty excited about a lot of stuff. he's a genuine guy. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to see exactly what you're getting. But because I knew him so long, I jumped in there and had a crack at it. And I'm really stoked at the system. It's just so easy to use. Everything's simple. I'm just driving back from looking at a job, and I was just thinking about how much simpler it's going to make things for me. Every one I've sent it out to in my e-blast is 600 odd people. Stole databases, and I've had contacts from people that I haven't spoken to for years, and they're all just saying how professional it all looks and how good it is. And I just feel like the lead capture side of it is worth every cent by itself. And there's so much stuff you can do at the back end. I don't understand it properly yet, but from what I...
So obviously it's a bit hard to hear. And so Peter, I'm not sure, Christine, if you can see Peter's post, but Peter wrote, not that clear, but I did listen to this one from your email brochure. So you guys are both living proof of exactly what I'm saying. So for example, you guys got an email. That's how you got to know me. You saw some other stuff in an email. It nurtured you. You got to the point where you decided to come to the webinar. And it works the same thing for you guys. It works the same way for you guys, but it's a really tricky thing. If I was a building business, social media will kick ass way more than the fact that I'm a marketer, because there's 50 million people on social media trying to tell you that is social media marketing, but there's only about 50 to 50 to 100 really amazing, well-marketed building companies that are on there. So you're getting in, well, sort of, you're getting in just before the wave's starting to really peak. Generally, all of the builders that you guys see on there that are doing any good are our clients already. So you're going to notice that some of the bigger names out there are going to be people who already work with us, your Strouds, your Integrities, and not just in your franchise names, but all your some of your big boutique builders and stuff. So I mean, we've got builders that their starting price for a home build's 25 mil per home. So right down to you guys, we've got guys that signed up with this system. They got the building license and said, this is it. I need to start growing a database of potential clients. Both of you obviously have got time under your belt. You've got databases there. And so this initial system solution, where it can bring some immediate revenue is from that initial client bank or database. That's the names, phone numbers, and emails that you already have right now in your accounting package, in your mobile phone, on your computer, of everyone and anyone that ever built with you, thought of building with you, subbies, contractors, architects, developers, project managers, friends, family, the whole lot. We gather them all up, we get them into your system, and we as part of the initial setup pack, part of the initial setup fee, we also design your first e-blast, we call it, that goes out to them. And the idea of that is to filter through and see what potential inquiry and jobs are now waiting for you. Because I'll tell you how you increase your profits on a building business, by saying no to jobs. And I'll give you a direct example of how this works in relation to what Rich Training provides. Just say you've got a prelim on your desk right now, and it's going to net you 75K. If you buy my pack tonight and I do this whole thing and I put together an e-blast for initial database and we blast it out and you get 7 inquiries and 2 of them have net profits of 150 and 270 respectively, depending on the size of the job, not only have you made the extra money, so you've made the 150 extra, you've also got to take into the equation that you haven't lost the 2 or 3 months that you would have spent doing a lower net profit job. So you've got to then add up all that time, and you've got to add that net profit from that other job to it. Does that make any sense to you? So this is the number one issue in a building business. Going from one job to the next, not knowing for 100% certain that the next contract you're signing is exactly the one you should be signing, and it's the highest possible net profit for that period of time. And the reason why you don't know is because you might not have a heap to choose from. And that there leads me kind of to this story. So there was once a fisherman who had been fishing with the same bait and gear for years, and he caught fish and was generally happy. This is what the state we find most builders in. It's all good, mate. I got work. The phone rings. There's a heap of houses booked in. There's different things going on. I don't need to market. I've never marketed before. The phone rings. Great. That's all good. And this guy doesn't look unhappy at all. And there's nothing wrong with a business that's functioning like that. There's a massive difference between a business that's functioning like that and a business that is continually moving upwards in terms of net profits increase, workload decrease simultaneously. So total number of builds per year goes lower, total time spent with family and doing other things increases, and net profits goes up. And I'll explain to you how it's done by effectively using social marketing. So that's the situation. Another fisherman came along holding a massive fish. He had a brand new reel, a bucket, a filtration system, a lead and hook system on board. And he said to this guy, look, congratulations, you're a great fisherman, you're lucky. This first fisherman up here thought that this guy was being a bit of a smart ass, as his one fish was equivalent to a whole week's worth of fishing. And so he said to that guy, why am I the lucky builder? You're the guy who won the $1.7 million contract, and I'm still doing my 850k houses and clearing my 22%. And the guy said, well, you are lucky and you are better than me, because here you are, no decent marketing, no effective social media, no lead capture, no nurturing, no social currency, and you're keeping your head above water. You're still doing jobs, you're still building houses, you're still kicking along. And that's exactly right. It's hats off to anyone in Australia who can run a business, let alone, keep it running. So we're not here to say that people aren't doing a great job. All we're saying is, if we're going to go fishing, could we go fishing with the right gear? And could we go looking for the exact right fish? And could we make sure we're actually bringing those in and improving it? And this isn't just some silly hypothetical, funny sort of story here. This is reality. This is exactly what happens. People building businesses, they take on jobs that they shouldn't. When there was another fish just within reach that they just didn't have a clue. They didn't know. They didn't catch that guy. So that's why this guy said to him that you're luckier. Because our clients essentially have an unfair advantage in a sense, because they've got all these things in place. They've got the systems in place. So does that little analogy, does that little story make sense to you? And again, I can talk to direct references. I mean, Clint, who would you suggest? Probably, look, Justin at Abode Homes. I believe that before we got him those other two contracts, he had other work lined up in that period of time. He had another job that was not booked in, they hadn't signed off or anything, but pretty well groomed up, ready to go. And he knew that block of time was going to be for that job. If he had taken that job, his net profit over that period of time would have been down by probably 150.
Yeah.
150, 170, $170,000. And you do that times two, and you get to the end of the year, and you've got a serious deficit there. Now, the builder who didn't know any better and didn't have any marketing in place and didn't know anyway, this guy up here, he's happy. There's a massive smile on his face. He's fine. In his mind, he's fine. His wife might not be fine. They mightn't have, have as much time together, mightn't have the kind of profits they expected after that amount of years, or paying the kind of rate someone will pay to their subbies, whatever else. But in the perception, they're fine. And so I say this to you guys, not to be condescending or any other way, Christine and Peter, but I say it because I know that surely you're understanding my point. You've been there and you've been in that zone before. So what we're suggesting, well, no, in fact, what we want to help you with is how to get the right systems in place to be able to do that kind of fishing. That's our setup pack, the Ebrochure, lead capture, and all the rest of it. Let's have a look what's already in your basket. Let's delve in there and see if you've got a couple of kingfish sitting around in there, and mind you, you probably will. I mean, I won't go into several thousand videos, but check this out. Get the audio to work here, hang on. See whether that's coming through. For some reason the sound's not working on that. Here basically, there's umpteen stories. You know, I can probably just drop you guys a little link here for you to have a look at. Later, but there's umpteen stories of that happening, of people having stuff in their databases that they can draw upon almost essentially immediately. That's what the initial, that's really the gamut of the initial thing, really, isn't it? It's taking you into the social media place, effectively getting all your hook lines, sinkers and lead capture and things in place, train you up in the basics how to use it. The training session alone, you know, $250 an hour for 2 hours. There's $500 worth of value in that on its own. The whole setup pack is currently, not much longer though, but it's currently $22.50 to set up. We design everything. So as you saw, the Ebrochure, the system, all the social medias done, optimize all those, connect all the lead capture, give you all the QR codes, and all the rest of it, right? It's all done for you. That's all part of that. And we give you all the graphic design back and everything. You can use it in other areas. We don't mind. We're not precious about that. And then there's a monthly fee, obviously, which maintains the automated system to allow this lead capture form to work and allow your Ebrochure to go out. For most people, tends to be about $80 a month if their database is under 500. It can be, its next bracket's 160 if you go over that, but that's takes up to 2,500. And that monthly fee is slowly going towards contributing to the relaunch of our Awareness Shows Youth Mental Health Program. So we've got a milestone that we need to hit by 2018, which is 1,000 clients, and we're getting there. So that's what stage one is. It's the setup of all of that. They're the reasons why. They're the value that you get out of it. Your client bank is named that because it's a bank. You can go and make a withdrawal anytime you want. You can go and put an email out to get some inquiry about a particular type of renovation you've decided to start to do, and you might pull in 20 clients out of there. Of them, you might shortlist down the top 10 most profitable and pick the 3 you want to do. Now that's power, as opposed to sit back and go, shit, I want to do these new type of renovations. I've got no idea where to start. I don't know what to do. Do I do Google AdWords? What do I do? Or, you know, or getting taken for a row where people are doing Facebook boosted posts and random stuff everywhere with absolutely no effect. So does everyone understand what the core pack is there? The Ebrochure pack, the social media setup, the lead capture, and you get the general concepts. Just give me a yes or a no if there's a question there. I'd like to answer that before I talk about the other 2 things that we do, which kind of bolt onto it. Great. So that's it. That's the price point, $22.50. Then there's the monthly fee. You know, I haven't spent half of Valentine's night, nor of yourselves, to hopefully not, to not go ahead. So I hope you guys are going to come forward with us on that. But where things get really, really, really exciting is when we are then able to go marketing for you. Okay, so this initial thing is a system solution. Yes, it can bring in revenue and value from your initial e-blast from your database. We set it all up, Christine. This first part's a handheld process, okay? You've got a project manager, takes care of your sets all your social medias up, or fixes the ones that might be there now. It's all done, okay? We've learnt the long and hard way of how to most effectively do this for you guys. Not at all saying that builders are not tech savvy. A lot of builders are incredibly tech savvy, and you guys are probably in there. My point is that, like you, we've spent a lot of time streamlining how we deliver our product so that it's more effective for yourselves, and makes our life and our project managers' lives easier. So what happens with that is you pay through Rego through an online form. I'll chuck you a link in a minute. Your monthly fee doesn't start until the end, until it's set up and ready to go, sorry. But there's 2 things I want to talk about is what to happen after then. So what do you do once Yeah, you can manage everything going forward. You know, you can manage everything. After that, you'll be trained. You'll be trained. You know, only interested in builders. Look, we're interested in all trades areas. We've got architects, we've got renovators, all the rest of it. We kind of got that side wired. And I'll be honest with you, we are starting to look into a bit of real estate. And I'll tell you how that happened. We got so good at marketing the builders that we've taken them to certain levels in their businesses where we've got builders now who just won't go and build houses anymore. They just buy whole blocks of land, fully pre-done at premium profit margin house and land packages. And we market them directly to market and bring them straight into the database and sell these house packs for them. So Peter, the answer is we're not only interested in builders, but we've perfected that art within builders and trades. Are you in a non-building business? Is that what I'm guessing from that question? Oh, perfect. Yeah, awesome. No, great. I mean, the best person to be friends with is someone that's got 450 builders and architects for clients. So one of the things we would do for you is after we set you up and get you going, we've got a heap of aircon guys and installers and you know sparkies and plumbers and all the rest of it, because it works the same way. Any trade services works upon goodwill, reputation, social currency, and database growth. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so what we generally do, Peter, is once your system's done, we actually have one of our senior project managers on this call right now, but Krista, I think once they give us a testimonial, we go and promote that out to our databases as well. Krista might just chime in there and let us all know. Pretty sure that's how it works. So we basically take your business and with the e-brochure we've just done and promote it. Okay, I have muted. I will unmute Krista in a moment. So that's the concept there for that setup, and then obviously moving forward from there, Christine and Peter, the idea is to then market you. You know, is to then harness the power of Instagram and Facebook. We focus on Instagram and Facebook. Now that we've got great tool in place and lead capture, bang, we can go out there and start hooking those right kind of fish in. And it's a slow process. It's not an overnight success. It's a long journey. But once it snowballs, it snowballs. And you don't, you can, you know, we've got clients, we've got testimonial videos at the Wazoo, they've shut off all their SEO, they've shut off yellow pages, they've shut off their local direct use listings, they've shut off a range of things, radio, newspaper, TV, bang. You know, there's 100 grand a year gone. And so that's really a second stage focus. In conjunction with that, and Christine, this will probably be of interest to you as well, is that in the last 6 months we've identified that people also need help with running all this a bit more. So it's all well and good to set it all up and train you, and yeah, you know, you'll be fine. You can send e-brochures, you can do updates, your automated newsletter work, and you give them a great training video, and most clients are pretty well fine. However, we now have a mentorship program, which is a 12-month program where you get a Skype call, like a personal trainer calls you every month and a half, looks over all your posts, helps you get ready for the next ones the next month, looks through your email system, your e-brochure system, makes sure you're tracking all the leads properly, makes any, you know, help you make edits and changes and deal with things, and just generally support you with your social currency. We call it a social currency mentorship because we're actually trying to help you build your social currency so that you can grow your client bank and end up with social capital. So social capital is where you can walk into a room and say, you know, I'm the number one in this particular type of thing, and if you know, it's just known, it's just proven, it's just there. They can go and go, well, are you really? And then all of a sudden, they go on and as everywhere over Facebook, YouTube, the whole deal. It's obvious that these guys are the ones who are the bees and knees of that, and that's kind of what we've built up now. That's why we're, you know, the HA and the MBA have got us booked all over the country, is because we've reached that point, you know. And that's kind of where you want to get to as a building business, because then you decide everything. You decide margin, you decide who you do and don't work with, you pick your contracts based upon the trajectory that you want to take, and you can even design where you want to go. I've had a lot of builders say, look, I'm overdoing this type of building. And, you know, I've had a dream for years to build mud brick homes, and I've never worked out how to break out of the game, out of the base, you know, the kit home game. want to get out of the suburbs, I want to go and build mud brick homes and do this new type of unique work. We can do that. With Facebook and Instagram campaigns, we can start to carve out an audience, show some connection, show some social currency, but it's a slow process. So I just want to check with you guys to understand some very vital things. We have a setup pack, does all the e-brochure and all the rest of it. It is standalone and you can use it and you're fine. It does your automated newsletters, all your social media's in place, your e-brochure, and you do your one post a week and it updates all your social and your website. Great. You're trained, great. But it's not then going to go and take your business name out in front of thousands of eyeballs. That's a Facebook, Instagram campaign, which is stage 2. And we can give you, Clint can get in touch and give you costing breakdowns and things on those. They're generally 3,375 for a month in management and a 1,500 ad spend. Then we've got the mentorship, and the mentorship's there to hold your hand throughout all of this. So lately, for new clients coming on, we've kind of been encouraging them that the ultimate thing to do is take out the triple pack, get your rod, reel, hook, line, and sinker and system in place. Then come out on a chartered fishing thing with a heap of burley up the water and track the right fish, which is your campaign, to get you started, an awareness campaign, and get a personal fishing trainer right there beside you, hold your hand for the whole trip and spends 12 months working with you. It just makes sense. It's a natural thing. However, you don't have to. You can get shitloads of value, excuse the French, out of just grabbing the initial system and doing all the rest of it, but you couldn't get anywhere near the value of actually going out and marketing it and getting help. So does that make sense to you guys? So they're 3 standalone things. We suggest combining them, and obviously, there's at the moment I think that we're doing a 15% discount off each of them.
On the triple, I think, mate, Peter was lucky enough to join us for the Facebook webinar. He was one of the ones that ended up on board to see that. Was that right, Peter? You ended up attending the Facebook one last week, it was? No, he didn't come on. Okay, he was on the list.
He was registered, but not on.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, there was a webinar we did, which is a video link for probably, where is it? Maybe, we'll grab it. It'll be somewhere in here. I'll find it in a bit, and I'll get it to you guys. Yeah, it's probably in quick links, Chris is saying. Try to find it. Not sure where it ended up, but I'll find it and get it to you guys. Well, Clint will show you and get that information to you. But basically, yeah, the bottom line is that we encourage people now. We never did before because we've only streamlined these things. We encourage people generally to get the triple pack because it works. Okay, so but each one of them's got you can't get the campaigns without and the mentorship without the initial pack because you haven't got a system in place. Chris is going to give us the link for that as well. Yeah, so that's kind of the gamut of really tonight was about the initial pack. I mentioned the other two because they are a natural pathway and there's obviously a financial benefit to those. The mentorship currently is $5,225 for a full 12 months, which is, I don't know if any of you have done any business coaching or mentorships, but that's ridiculous. So most people are paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month at a base level. To have someone call you for an hour and a half every month, go over all your marketing materials, support you, guide you, make sure your posts are working, look over all your email system. People are not getting away with that sort of thing. The reason we're doing it is we've got 30 spots to fill because it's a new thing for us and we want to build long-term relationships. So that's a big thing you guys need to know about me, my agency, my people. We're all Australian-based. We've got one family member who works out of Brazil in graphic design and things like that. Is a cousin of my wife who's Brazilian. But we're paid no slave labour here, so we're not not paying $1 an hour to Filipino and Indian mothers of 6 kids that are trying to survive. We're not doing that sort of stuff. We're not engaged in those things, which most, if not 90% of digital agencies are. I don't say that to kind of big note myself and that I'm anything special, but I say that to let you know who you're dealing with. It's social currency. That's just the way I operate. Christine, yeah. So on top of the initial pack, we call it the Ebrochure and social media setup. Okay, that is $22.50. Is that plus GST?
Correct.
Plus GST, and then generally it's only about $80 a month. If it's under 500, it could be 160 in your database. Then if you were to come forward and grab the initial awareness campaign for Facebook/Instagram, they are $3,375 plus GST for the management, and then Facebook direct to them slowly drips off your card as a $1,500 ad spend. So you do the maths on that through 1,500 plus. And that's per campaign. We recommend an initial awareness campaign, then you wait a little bit, get some momentum. Most of our clients do revolving campaigns. And I'll give you an example of why in a moment. And then the mentorship, so that's the mentorship ends up being 5,225 inclusive. I don't know why the other ones are in GST. And that's over 12 months. So I can probably drop you guys in a little bit of a better thing here for that. So that's the campaigns. That's the mentorship. There's costing breakdowns, that is. And this is for the setup pack, is our costing breakdown and the process that we use to get you going. So I'm flying off to HIA in Sydney Thursday. We've got 60 guys in the room. We've got a mass quota of clients that we can take on per year for the setup, including the campaigns and the mentorships. We're going to start doing these webinars every now and then. We're kind of doing them because it's the initial part of the year. And generally, yeah, that's how we sort of work, is that people register, they come to an event or a webinar and then register with us for at least the setup. If you want to go for all three, it's 15% off each one. But to give you an idea, so even do the math, let's pretend they're all $5,000. They're not. So there's 15 grand. So, okay, just say we set up your system, right? And we send out your first e-blast and you land 2 contracts, which, by the way, has happened for 9 out of 10 of our clients for the last 3 to 5 years. And in those contracts, we'll pretend they were shit-house jobs and you did them on a 21% margin and they weren't great builds, or 600s or whatever. At the end of the day, your net profit alone from just the setup pack, okay, this is before we talk about the awareness campaign or the support you get from your mentorship, but just the e-blast from the setup pack, it nets you 25 to 30K. That doubles the total outlay of buying all 3 packs, and we haven't even started to go to town on marketing you through social media yet, nor spent 12 months supporting you. So if you want to get a bit of an idea of value, that just sums up for you there. And the number of clients that happens, I'd almost, we're almost at the point of being able to guarantee it, but you can't. Because I don't know what your database is like. But Peter, for example, with you dump your whole database into the system, you've got your architects and builders and all the rest of it, and we launch this e-blast, and you bring in 12 or 13 fit-outs, and you go and tell me, honestly, the net profit off it, the 15, it's not even 15, what's the total maths on those 3 things, with 15% off each one? It's like 11 grand or something. That's been absorbed in the first job. I mean, Christine, you know yourself. I mean, I know you. I know your business is inside and out now because I work with that many builders. So what's happening next year is our pricing models are changing because of this fact. I mean, we did a webinar the other day where one of the clients piped in and he was honest. He said, look, guys, I spent 8 grand with Rich and he netted me $500,000 in 2 months. So now if I had to turn around and charge him 25 grand for that, do you think he would have balked it? Of course he wouldn't have. So what's happening is that everything's changing for us as we come into the turn of this year. So for those that are coming on now, it's kind of happy days because we haven't changed any of our pricing models and our structures yet because we haven't got around to it. But that, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the kind of return on investment and value potential that you're really facing. So my goal tonight would be to see you guys come on for, to get the triple pack, come on board and get this cranking and make a success of it straight away. I can give you the registration links to do that. Failing that, at the very first case, at least come on board, get set up with the Ebrochure systems and all the rest of it, and then let Clint have a bit further of a talk with you about the Facebook campaigns and mentorships. How do you guys feel about that, Peter and Christine? On there. Oh, okay, so you're not the owner, Peter. No worries. Christine, yourself, you're one of the partners or one of the people in the. I haven't got a briefing on your business. If you're a husband and wife team, or you're running your company. Okay, cool. Well, I can need to see more. Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, now's a good time. What questions or other things would you like to see or understand? I guess. Cool, Peter. That's good. Okay, so he wants to go, well, the starter pack, you can rego for the starter pack there. If you've got company credit card details, you can do that yourself, Peter. The other packs, Clint, can you follow up with Peter tomorrow or something or whatever and give him the...
I've got Peter's details, yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. But Christine, it'd be good while you got me now. I've got a little bit more time and happy to answer a couple of questions. Okay, all right, well, I might do a similar thing, Christine. How about I get Clint to call you and cover off those things? But really, he's not going to say much more than what I've shown you. I mean, the core of it is there. Yeah, sure. So Clint will go over that. We'll go over that. But just so you both know, the initial setup pack, you're looking at about 2.5, 3 hours of your time. You're looking at filling out a simple questionnaire. You're looking at giving us obviously the database to import, and you've got to give us your logo and a few photos and things. So that's really all there is to it, is that. So there's not much in that initial stage. It's pretty well handheld. But well, look, thanks you guys very much for coming along and having a look and a listen. No worries, Christine. What I'll do is I'll get Clint to follow up with you guys over the coming days. And yeah, really hope to have an opportunity to work with you both. And yeah, support your businesses and get you guys out there and get you guys cranking.
We'll be in Sydney, Rich, for a couple of days, so I'll touch base with the guys tomorrow and just look at the best.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got HIA. You've got us speaking down there on Thursday, so Clint will get in touch ASAP. No worries, Peter. Yeah, thank you for your time as well. Yeah, Christine, I don't know, HIA Gold Coast are booking is soon, but the thing is, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know when the date is. It might be November or something like that. But we aim to fill our quota we need to fill it before I leave. So we'll finish our quota, I hope, by April, mid to late April. And that is, unable to work with others. What's happening for me now is a lot of our clients are requesting that we don't work with other builders anymore, basically. Yeah, we will have a HIA presentation at some point, but I don't know when it is. But really, both Christine and Peter, the thing is that because of the amount of clients we've done, the amount of time and credibility. Like, people ring me and say, Rich, why don't you come out and see us? And the thing is, like, I'm flying around the country speaking to 60 and 80, 100 people at a time, keynote speaking at Sydney Build Expo and doing these kind of webinars. So it's hard. Clint can have a bit more of a detailed one-on-one chat with you, but at the end of the day, that's going to be just more about the details in behind it. The core of what I've showed you tonight is the core value. If you go ahead with this, it's really quite simple. We'll make sure that we optimize social media and direct client capture and set up email so that it helps drive your business forward. We know how to do that. We've been doing it for a long time, and we will help. If you take out the campaigns, we'll put your business name in front of thousands of eyeballs that would never have seen you, and they'll be the right eyeballs. And if you get a mentorship, you get your hand held and educated and trained in how to do it. It's really not that. There's not so much more to it. And because obviously the prices that we're currently charging, we don't sort of go out and do individual consultations everywhere, seeing people. That's why we mainly do webinars and seminars. But having said that, Clint's happy to give you both a call, go over a little bit more detail around the triple pack if you guys are interested in that, and hopefully get you guys started. But I'll just say this to you guys. Just be aware of leaving things too long and too late, not only in terms of the amount of people we can work with, but social media is a time-based game. So my clients who got on 2 and 3, 4 years ago, they've got 3 years worth of real estate under their belt. So, well, Peter, if you're getting commissions on sales, you might want to jump on it, because I've had a lot of people do that. A lot of people bought it themselves. The owner goes, mate, I don't know what this is. I don't want to do it. And they do it. But all good. Look, both of you have a wonderful night. It is Valentine's. We better all jump off. It's been lovely to have you here. And yeah, try not to procrastinate, and really hope to look forward to supporting your businesses, and Clint will be in touch. So I'll say good night to you guys, and thank you again.
Thanks, guys. I'll be in touch tomorrow at some point just to make some suitable times with you.
Great, Peter. That's great. Happy Valentine's. All right, that's good, Peter. Well, Clint will speak to you tomorrow and sign you up for the setup. That's great. All right, Christine, be well. Have a wonderful night.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Bye.